Chinese Premier Li Keqiang has arrived in New York City for the 71st United Nations General Assembly. He'll be attending the first ever summit organised by the UN on refugees and migrants. He'll also be following up on pledges made by Chinese President Xi Jinping when he was here last year, which included a lot more commitments for a very stretched peacekeeping operation. Chinese peacekeepers Li Lei and Yang Shupeng given full military honours as their bodies return home, killed defending civilians in South Sudan. 5 other Chinese peacekeepers were wounded in that incident, and they are not alone. Since 2015, nearly 200 blue helmets have been killed around the world, with the mission in Mali being the most dangerous. But it's not just manpower these missions need, but also all the tools of a modern military.
We need expensive, high technology capabilities like aviation, like combat engineers, like signalers, and these are fairly rare in the force structures of the traditional contributors to peacekeeping, which is one of the reasons why we need new countries to come on board that have these capabilities within their force structures.
The President of the People's Republic of China.
Countries like China. Last year, here in New York, President Xi Jinping pledged 8,000 troops for UN peacekeeping. China is now the largest contributor to US peacekeeping among UN Security Council members. That fits into a plan to overhaul the peacekeeping department, focusing on what's being called the 3 Ps: planning, pledges and performance. The UN is already relying more on technology, using drones to gather intelligence in potential trouble spots like the Democratic Republic of Congo. Doing more with less is the new mandate. Peacekeeping uses a whopping 75% of the UN's budget, with many missions deployed in areas for years, with precious little peace to keep. But the UN says the missions bring value for money and much more besides.
The $8 billion plus of UN budget is a fraction of the cost of, for example, world military expenditure. For that $8 billion, you get 16 operations in a variety of incredibly complicated places. And I think that UN peacekeeping has a demonstrated record of helping people have a fighting chance for peace. Yes, it does cost money, but our view is that it's a sound investment in the future of peace.
Peacekeeping's image has been tarnished by a slew of sex scandals, allegedly involving peacekeepers and the civilians they are meant to protect. With trials for some of those accused underway, the UN is sending a message of zero tolerance for misconduct. And Chinese Premier Li Keqiang is expected while he's here to push the G20 agenda adopted recently in Hangzhou, which calls for a much more inclusive global economy. Nathan King, CCTV, the United Nations in New York.